Ma'am? Ma'am? Clemence? Answer for your mother crimes. Hey, what's up? Hello, it's Katie Colson here. Welcome back to my channel. And we are here to do a reading vlog. Bet you couldn't have guessed. I also bet you don't know what book it is. Because you don't know how to read the title and you don't know how to see the thumbnail. So I'll help you out. It is The Quiet Tenant by Clemence Michelon. I looked up how to say this a week ago and I forgot. I am sorry. I am sure some of that pronunciation is wrong, but I'm going to give you a brief summary of what this is about because I know that I never do. And if I do, I do it very poorly during the vlog. So I will spare you that. This is basically kind of similar to Notes on an Execution. They're not the same, but they have a lot of similar thoroughfares. What does that mean? It sounded right, so I'm going to keep it. Anyway, this is following a serial killer, but you're not getting his perspective. You're getting the perspective of the women in his life that are most involved in his life, which is his 13-year-old daughter, Cecilia, as well as the victim that he spared and the woman that is interested in him. So we're seeing that. And this woman basically talked her way into him sparing her life and kind of convinced him that he wanted her and that he needed her. So he's kept her hostage and his daughter doesn't know. But one day, because of something that happens, they have to move. And she has been locked in this like shed, basically outside.
But now that I think about it, why does the daughter like never go in the shed?
Anyway, that just dawned on me. Wow. Okay. So he's like, oh my God, how am I gonna get this woman with us moving and my daughter not see her and not know? So he's like, well, I'm gonna have to kill her. But then she's like, I don't know about that. I think maybe I can talk you into something.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
So that's basically what we're following here. And we're trying to figure out, how did this all start with this girl getting kidnapped? Is she going to get away? Is she going to break free? Is she going to continue to be able to talk her way out of and into these situations, such and whatnot? I would say this is not a thriller. Like technically, I guess you would call it that, but I'd say it's like a literary thriller is probably the best way that I would put it. It's much more just kind of psychological, but technically a thriller. I do want to say that this is going to be completely spoiler free until the very end, like the very, very, very end. And that is a very short segment where I do have some spoilers. It will be marked in the chapters or whatnot below, and I'll have something on the screen. So if you want a non-spoiler vlog, 95% of this is non-spoilery. But if you've read it and you want to know some of my thoughts, those will also be at the end. Anyway, okay, let's jump right into the video because yet again, I've been talking for far too long. Oh, well, I could turn the light on. How do you like me now? Lit like the sun. Actually, that's just gonna have a really bad glare now, probably. Anyway, hi. I started The Quiet Tenant and I can't stop thinking Notes on an Execution did it better. Yeah! And I shouldn't do that, but I'm like, I read Notes on an Execution and this has been compared to that so many times and I totally understand why, absolutely. But I'm reading it like, oh yeah, this is good. But Notes on an Execution is better. And maybe it's because we're just in this character's head and there's a lot more characters in that. Maybe that's what it is. But like, it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. Not at all. But like, I need to get over this judgment because I just keep comparing them and they're not comparable. Notes on Execution is one of my favorite books, literally of all time. And there are people that really don't like that book. And I see it, basically I don't think I've heard anybody dislike this. Not that I've deep dived the way I have with Notes on Execution, because the second I heard one bad review, I was like, let's see what the girlie's problems are. So I'm barely into it. But I can't even really tell you anything because everything that I would say is what I already said in the summary. The only thing that I didn't say in the summary that is in this like flap is that the guy, his wife passes away and that's why they have to move. And I'm like, you have a whole wife and a whole 13-year-old kid and you're doing what on the side? I'm sorry. That's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like, did his wife know? Does his kid know? Are they like, oh, we totally don't know. We have no idea what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Okay, anyway, it's getting late and I do have to edit because I have not been doing that. And when I do, I'll edit one clip and then I'll be like, well, I got to go do something else. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to hit you back up tomorrow with more thoughts about this. I thought I was ready to talk. I really thought I was ready to start talking. This just got really good. I know what I was saying before. I know what I was saying. This just got really good though. Okay, we just got, I can't talk about it because I know I don't trust myself to not start going into spoilers. So I can't say that. But what I'll say is that we're in the perspective of the woman, the quiet tenant, in the past, when right before he finds her and when he does. And I have teared up, not cried, but teared up so many times. It's not like, oh my God, I'm just like, oh, this is like a big moment and I'm crying. No, there's just so many little things that are just beautifully sad. Sad, beautiful, tragedy. Sad, beautiful, tragic. There are so many little things. I'm going to annotate this book. I know I'm listening to the audiobook and I love the audiobook, but I have to go back and annotate this. I have been putting bookmarks where I want to put tabs and stuff. And before they were very sparse because I was being, in the beginning, not too critical, but too laissez-faire. Like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm listening to this book. It's because I need to like, I mean, I know I already have a video where I was talking about like getting out of a slump, but this is something where I was like, I need to do something that's not reading Magnolia Parks and then Daisy Hates, not reading Daisy Hates because I have to annotate them too much. So I was like, okay, I'll listen to this. It's like a thriller. No, this is it's disguised as a thriller. But really it's literary fiction. And I totally understand the relation to Notes on Execution. I do not think, this is the thing, this is it. This is why I was being too laissez-faire, is that I was like, oh, it's going to be a 4-star because it's not going to be a 5-star because Notes on Execution was 5 stars. That's not the case. Notes on Execution is a favorite of all time. That does not mean that this cannot be a 5-star. They are not the same. And I need to start understanding stuff like that. I feel like I have already started to understand it in the last couple of years, but like better understand it. And this is a really good example of that, is that this can still be 5 stars at the end of the day. It still can, whether it will be or will be 4.5. I'm not done with the book, you know? So what do I know? But that was rude. My blood sugar's low. If you couldn't tell by how rambly I am. Bold of me to assume I'm not always like that, because I am. Anyway, I'll say one thing that she thought that I was like, wow, that freaking got me. And I'm going to hope to find it later and actually read out the quote. But when she says, like, it was bold of him to assume that he was the first man who ever tried to hurt me. Oh, that gutted me, because that is true. And this is like kind of like Notes on Execution, where it's not that it's about this man. It's about men who do this. And I mean, it's not doing it as well as I'm assuming Bright Young Women is going to do it. Or in my opinion, Notes on an Execution. But where she's saying like guys like this, you know, yeah, serial killers or kidnappers or stalkers or whatever, R-worders, they... Also, I want to take a second because of what I just said. I know I said like stalkers and murderers and I said R-worders, and I feel like that can come across like what I'm saying is that the R word is bad and those other words are not. It's not that. It's that the R word itself is triggering, and not that those other words are not triggering, but not as much to me. So, and I'm not saying like, oh my God, this is my triggers, because I don't want to be dramatic where other people actually have like really serious triggers. Like, so, obviously, but to me, I find the R word for an audience of other people, I would find that to be more triggering. So I do not say it, where I do say the word murderer and stalker. And if that is triggering to you, I apologize. I really do. But I just wanted to say that. Anyway, sorry for the tangent, but also sorry for saying sorry about the tangent. Wow. Okay, what was I talking about? This is basically saying that guys, men that do things like that, they assume that they're going to shock you. You're going to scream. You're going to cry. This is the first time something like this has ever happened. This is the first time that you've ever been afraid for your life because of a man. And that's not the case for any woman, ever. Ever. Not saying that this situation has happened to them or a situation like this or nearing this, but every woman has been afraid of a man at some point. Even if in reality there was no actual, real reason to be, you have felt that. So anyway, that was just a moment. I'm on Sprints with Bree. We have 25, I mean, you already knew that, but we have 26 minutes left. I'm going to keep listening to this and continue doing chores, but like, good God, I had to pop in because I legit kept tearing up. Like, this book might be 5 stars. It well and truly might be 5 stars. It is very good. Oh, hi. Hello. It is the next day. Well, this is just tabs. It's not actually where I am. I put that in there because I was going to tab, but then I'm listening to the audiobook and okay, here's the thing. I am enjoying it even more than I was before. Not to say I wasn't enjoying it, because I absolutely was 1,000% enjoying it. But I thought, oh, okay, like before I was being very like laissez-faire. Like I was like, oh, like this is okay. Like this is good. I'm enjoying it. And now it is gripping me more. And in this, it really is about the characters. It really is about, wow, we actually don't know his name, do we? Oh, wait, no, we do. Well, did he give his real name? Things I should have thought about before. But because he gives his real name, I guess, maybe, Aiden, to the bartender. But so we are following Aiden. We are following the woman / Rachel, and also Cicely, Jesus, that's a place. Cecilia, the daughter. Okay, we are following, and they are focusing on those people. It's about them as people, not about them as a construct or a societal guideline of who they're supposed to be, as Notes on Execution is. And I keep comparing them, and I need to stop doing that because I'm like, okay, well, Notes on Execution was 5 stars. And this doesn't feel like Notes on Execution level. So maybe it's going to be a 4. I don't know. But I'll tell you that the daughter has a point of view in this, and I was not expecting that. The daughter has a point of view. Why do I keep, for no reason, just because of the things I read, just because of that and being a Gemini and everything, why is it that I keep being like, oh my God, what if the daughter killed the mom? There's no way. That's absolutely not what happened. And if it is, I'm going to cut this out. But I'm like, oh my God, what if? That is Delulu. The Delulu is not the Solulu, Katie. That daughter did not kill the mom. Like, what am I talking about? This poor kid, this poor 13-year-old girl. I'm out here like, what if she's a murderer? She could be a psycho. No. But anyway, yeah, that would be crazy though. That would be crazy. Okay, I'm about to join Sprints with Bree. She's already been live for 4 hours. But she goes for a long haul. She sprints for like 10 hours at a time. So I'm sure we can get a couple sprints in. Also probably spend hours and hours talking, because that is what we are wont to do, 2 Geminis on a sprint. Are you going to read? Probably not. Anyway, okay. I am about a quarter of the way in, according to the audiobook. I will pop back in when I am halfway through. Okay, it's not that long later, but I had to pop in because that was hilarious. Is that the girl, Rachel, whoever, the the quiet tenant, when she first like looks over at him, like really looks over at him when he's like kidnapping her, and she thinks blue eyes. How dare he? The audacity of him to have blue eyes. Why ruin that for everybody else? That's hilarious. Like, I know this book is sad and it's messed up, but like that was funny. Like, I laughed out loud. Had to stop the audiobook because I was laughing. Just wanted to let y'all know that. I'm gonna finish this book tonight. I'm gonna finish it. But oh my God, when I tell you, I'm 91% of the way in. And the amount of times I've gone, oh my God. Because it's like, just, yeah. I get it. Like, it's a thriller. Like, it's spooky ooky. Like, things have to go wrong. But you just, oh my God, you just need it to go right so badly. You need it to go right. I need this to go right. I need it to go right. And every possible little thing that could happen to make it go wrong is happening. Oh my God. Also, if you've read this book, Emily?
Slut.
She is crazy. She's crazy. Also, how old is she? Because I don't like this age yet. I think, gross. Anyway, okay. I'm currently, what you saw me doing, this looks so freaking cute. I love this. I got my eyes checked and this was crazy. I just did this because it's funny, but anyway. So my eyesight was at negative 2.75, negative 3, and now it's negative 2.25, negative 2.5. So a whole half a degree or whatever better than it was before. And that is not something that happens to diabetics. And the optometrist was like, oh my God, I'm so excited to tell you this. He was like, I never see this. And I was like, how does that happen? He was like, he's like, I don't really know how to explain it, but like, he was like, your blood sugar's been so good for so long that the blood vessels have like opened up and I don't know, like repaired themselves somehow. I'm like, I'm not a gecko. I can't just lose my tail and it grow back. So anyway, I'm journaling that while listening to this. I'm assuming that I'm not going to hit you back up until the end. Because I keep wanting to pop in and say things, but I know that's going to be spoilery. So I'm like, don't. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. But I am on the edge of my seat. I'm on the edge of my seat. Okay, let's finish this book. Okay, so I finished it. Very anticlimactic ending. For how much tension we were building and how with this girl I was. I was literally with this woman right by her side, like begging that she was going to escape. Very anticlimactic ending. I wanted a lot more out of the ending. Hopefully I will sleep on it, have some thoughts, and come back to you. But my thoughts right now are that it ended very abruptly, quickly. I did not get the character interactions that I wanted, and that, I mean, it's not like the author was like, this is what I'm going to give you. But the breadcrumbs were all leading to that we were going to get these interactions, these reunions, maybe this understanding, speaking to like it just ends. Like, I'm not gonna get a conversation between these two people, or these two people, or these two people. Like, what do you mean? No reunite? No, what? Like, there's a lot of things that we don't even know in the end. Like, we don't even find out, that I was not satisfied with. Now, I still really enjoyed the book, but at first, like when I first finished this, I was like, oh, no, it's gonna have to be a 4.5. But then when I'm discussing it, like even right now, I'm like, no, it's gotta be a 4. Like, I don't know, because there's so many parts of this book that are so good, but the ending is so unsatisfactory. And for a book that's only like 310 pages, how did you fumble the end so bad? Like, and it's not, I'm not saying the ending is like terrible. Like, it's not like things that I didn't want to happen happened. It's that so many things didn't happen that should have happened, that I feel like almost any author, any reader would have known to do. What I'll say is, this is one of the only books where I was like, you're not going to give me an epilogue? I need an epilogue. Give me something. I'm sorry. Anyway, LOL. Okay. Maybe I'll come back tomorrow with more clear and distinct thoughts. Hello again. It is much later. I read this 16 days ago, to be exact. And I am now coming to you with spoilers because I forgot that I did not do that. Also, I did not film an outro or an intro or a thumbnail. So we're going to do all that right now, okay? Because, you know, we're not gonna excuse past Katie's crimes, all right? But right now, I'm gonna go into spoilers. There's not gonna be many, just a couple things that I had gripes about. Just basically like the few things that frustrated me, which will be spoilers for the end of the book. So I'll have a thing over the screen here. You can skip it in the cards or the chapters or whatever down below. But fair warning, 3, 2, 1. I like to like give a lead up, because what if you're across the room and you're listening on your headphones and you're like, oh my God, no. That's what I imagine is happening. Anyway, what the fuck? Where is Julie? Where is Julie? Ma'am? Ma'am? Clemence? Answer for your motherfucking crimes, bitch. Where is Julie? I am so mad about it. I'm telling you, I read this over 2 weeks ago and I still think about it every day. I bring it up. I literally brought it up today on the phone. I brought it up yesterday on the phone. I brought it up like twice at work. It's not appropriate or called for me to be this angry about this, but this character, our main character, who we were with, all right, she thinks about her best friend so much, and how much she misses her, and that she didn't deserve a friend like her, and that's like the one person that she just like can't wait to see. And then it just ends. Where the fuck is Julie? It says like, oh, I emailed her. You emailed her? And we don't get to see that. We don't get any interaction, nothing. I was so mad about that. We don't get a meeting, what is that? Coming back together, whatever, with her parents or her brother, who she talks about all the time. What's the point then? Here's the thing. For this book to be 303, I think, pages, how did you fumble the ending that bad? Like, I do not understand how you just end it. Like, there's so many, you can see the tabs. There are so many amazing moments in this and quotable lines, but the ending fell so flat. It just happens. Like, literally, it's like 2 pages and it's a fast forward or flash forward, time jump. Anyway, and it's just Emily coming to chat with her. I don't give a about this bitch, Emily. I do not care. She's crazy. Emily is crazy. If this author wanted me to feel bad for Emily for any other reason than that she's a woman, she failed. Because Emily, okay, couple things. One, Emily is crazy. Emily is a bad guy. Like, I personally, when I was reading this, did not feel like the guy was grooming her at all. He did not want anything to do with her. He was not interested in her. And she like threw herself upon him. And then even when he was acting crazy, acting weird, she was like, oh my God, but I can fix him. Like, girl, get a grip. What are you doing? Oh my God. And then was like, you know, went kind of crazy ex-girlfriend and was like almost like trying to kill this main character. What? No. Okay, that's all I wanted to say as far as spoilers go. So, hi, hello again. You are back with me if you were paused, muted, skipped from before. I think that I am going to give this book... Maybe I just won't rate it. I think I'm just not going to rate it because what I want to say is 3.5, even though this is such a good book. It is a fantastic book, but the ending is so bad. The ending is terrible. Like, really bad. Really bad for how well written the rest of it is. I'm so confused on what she was going for. Because whatever it was, it either didn't do it or it wasn't good. So I'm going to go read other people's reviews and see what they have to say about it. But if I was going to rate it, I'd probably say 3.5. But what I think I'm going to do is maybe just not rate it and write under it. This is a brilliant book. It's brilliantly written. But no, I can't say that. That's a spoiler. But I was mad about the ending. Everything but the ending. I'm just going to give it 3.5 stars. Yeah, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. I'm talking myself into it. You're working through this process with me. Okay. If you have gotten this far into the video, then you can leave is there like a log cabin? Doubtful. A house? Some building of some sort. Whatever building is catching your fancy, you could leave that in the comments down below. If you've read this, what did you think about it? Were you upset about the things that I talked about in the spoiler section? What did you think about the ending? Let me know. If you want to follow me on Goodreads, Instagram, or Patreon, where we do a lot of reading sprints, like a lot, and for a really long time. It's kind of weird, like how long I spend on reading sprints, like 7 hours. I'm like, what am I doing? Do I not have a life? Spoiler alert, no, I don't. If you want to follow any of those, they are going to be linked down below, as well as a myriad of other links to help support this channel in many different ways. I hope that you are all having an amazing day, evening, night, dusk, dawn, whatever it is you're having in whatever part of the world you are currently having it in. And I will see you in a video coming very soon. Bye.
The library, darling. Because reading is what? Fundamental. That's right. That's right.
You could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me. Look the other way, what I'm doing ain't easy. Bloody hands stained from the people who deceive me. Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain. Pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane. Pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less. You check as I'm chess, what's happening next?